use the questions in the chat. We'll be monitoring for the next little bit.
Okay, thanks, Jonathan. So, hello, welcome everyone. My name is Michał Słowikowski, and I'm Cloud Solution Architect working here in Microsoft. I'm specializing in integration of Microsoft Teams with various third-party products, mostly in ServiceNow. And today I wanted to talk to you about what are the possible integrations between those two products. Let me go straight forward. Yeah. So with both of those products being in place, we need to think about who we want to help. And in this case, we want to deliver those experiences not only to end users. Of course, there are like very important people in the whole process, but also we would like to provide experiences for agents who can then support our end users better. And there are different ways to do it, from enabling secure self-service, providing conversations, providing access to knowledge base articles, and providing, of course, support which is available all the time. Also being able to check status where we are with our currently processed requests. However, on side of helping our agents, we would like to provide them tools which will bring the communication closer and faster to end user, and also bring the information back into ServiceNow for further analysis and further review of what is available and possible. If we talk about those experiences, so if we talk just about Teams integration with ServiceNow, there are multiple, I would say, pieces which can be enabled. You don't need to enable them all at once. It's much more of a pick and choose option. And as I said, first of, like, I would say the most popular one amongst the customers is enabling the self-service through providing virtual agent, which brings an option to create incidents, check ticket status, searching articles from knowledge bases, as well as providing many more operations in ServiceNow. There is also a way to provide direct communication between live agent, so an agent working in ServiceNow and end user working in Teams, and both of the parties are working in their, I would say, respective tools, and they can communicate directly with messages being sent from Teams to ServiceNow and other way around, which first of all shortens the distance and makes it much easier to have this like bidirectional communication between those two roles, as well as it helps our IT, our service desk, to have a control and log activities which have been performed around the case, around the incident. From end user perspective, there is also set of notifications and approval messages. So not only user can try to get the data, I would say, reactively when the user wants to go to the bot and asks the bot for help, but the bot can also provide information proactively whenever, for example, there will be an update to an incident. User can get notified, hey, listen, there is a new update to your incident. Do you want to provide any comment, or you just want to see the details? Also, there is a feature of approvals. So whenever you have approvals set up in your service now, they can also be surfaced through Teams, which provides the option to work on those approvals and perform operations on them on your desktop, on your web browser application, or on your mobile application. So you can interact with ServiceNow again from Teams, which is most of the time your like main daily driver. Next step and next experience, which is provided and this is also provided through virtual agent, is access to employee center portal. So if you are familiar with ServiceNow, you know about service portals. Now from Rome release, there's a solution called Employee Center, and this Employee Center can be embedded into the virtual agent application in Teams. So your users can access your Employee Center or service portals. So if you still are on service portals, you can still use them as well. Your users will be able to access the service portal or Employee Center straight from Teams application, both on the desktop and mobile applications. Next thing, and just to be clear, I'm going like very quickly over all of those topics. However, this will be also provided in the demo in a second. So we will see all of those features, or I think almost all of those features through the demo. So with the collaboration piece, there is additional way also not only to as I mentioned before, users can create a ticket and create an incident in ServiceNow. However, Service Desk agent can also request a Teams chat with a user, with a caller, or with, in this case, any other user. And from one of the latest releases of the feature, there is also a presence notification. So whenever Service Desk agent would like to create a Teams chat with a user, he will see the presence of the user. So Service Desk agent can directly see in ServiceNow if the person who he wants to reach out to is available or not. So it is also available. So besides having those Teams chats, users can also import past messages from Teams into ServiceNow. So for example, if you have like 3-strike rule, or you just want to have everything related to incidents stored in ServiceNow for ServiceNow to be this like single source of truth, then it will be also available via this import messages option. One of the latest addition was also supporting campaign feeds in Teams. So if you are enabling campaigns in your ServiceNow, the notifications from campaigns will be added into the activity feed in Teams. So the like notification from like organizational wide campaigns will be sent via the activity feed and not as a chat message. So it will be delivered like that. Also, if you are working with major incidents management, as many customers do, you can use Microsoft Teams as a platform for building or for creating conference bridges, as well as you can create group chats just to support those conversations between users to support major incidents management, right? So you can bring all the necessary people in a very short time. Again, in Teams, there is an additional bot who is calling proactively to the users and taking them back into inviting them and bringing them into the conversation. So also one of very cool features connected to major incident management. And I would say last piece of the whole puzzle, but it's I would say it would be very misleading because it's the whole customization part where you can go and extend extend all of those options by yourself. So either by using things like webhooks, so you can generate incoming webhooks in Teams and then proactively send messages from ServiceNow to the webhooks, or you can extend it via flows in our Power Automate platform, or through custom applications in Power Apps using ServiceNow connector. Or then you can also automate many things on ServiceNow side via the integration hub automation platform from ServiceNow. So you can have very complex approach and provide many additional actions besides those available here out of the box. So yeah, that's it from the introduction part.
Mikael, I had a couple of questions that came
Sure.
through before we move over to the demos. Amy Johnson asks, can you give more information about chats across languages? Example, the agent chats in English, employees chat in German, the translation across, and how the transcript is housed in ServiceNow. Is there any
So
bi-language, multi-language support?
I would say a perfect question, because it will be also covered in my demo. Yes, this option is supported. This is supported in the live agent communication, and I will show you how it looks like for the storing of the transcript. So both messages will be stored, original and translated, on ServiceNow side.
Awesome. Thanks. That's great clarity. Nikki asks, is it possible for the ITSM and the HRSD for notifications and approvals?
Yes. So depending on which ITSM license you have, so is it ITSM Standard or ITSM Pro, then you will have different set of, like, or it will behave a little bit differently, because with ITSM Standard you will get a message that you will get notifications about updates regarding your incident. You will also get notification that there is an approval waiting for your reaction, but you won't be able to approve it directly in Teams, but you will have a button which takes you to ServiceNow to update it from ServiceNow. So, and for HRSD, you will need to have HRSD Pro
Okay.
to have virtual agent.
All right. And just one more before we move on. Sarah asks, does this require the virtual agent for us to be out of the box features for the incident management and major incidences? Maybe just to talk about how the virtual agent interacts with the features from the incident management and major incidents.
Sure. So for major incident management and starting Microsoft Teams chat and requesting messages back into ServiceNow, you don't need to have virtual agent. So those features are completely separate of each other. So for major incident management, you will need to use something which is called Notify Connector for Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. Let's move on. Let's rock and roll.
Okay, perfect. So now we will switch to my demo setup. So I will just share my screen.
As well as maybe you'll just, as you're doing the demo, you'll sort of walk through that chat retention piece or be able to highlight that so everybody sees that.
Okay, so
Awesome.
hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so here on the left side in the green browser, I'm logged in as system administrator, but here I'll be working as a service desk agent, where on my right side of the screen in the pinkish, I think that's the name of the color, I will be working as a regular end user. One question, is it like clear enough? Should I maybe resize it?
Oh, I think it looks great.
Okay, Perfect. So I will start with the virtual agent, but of course we'll go through those other features as well. So as I said, the idea of using the virtual agent here as your support bot is the idea to bring as much self-service to end users as possible from very simple reason. Deflection of incidents. We don't want to take, or we want to solve incidents before they are becoming incidents, right? So this is the reason why I want to provide this kind of help to our user base. So I can just start my conversation with the bot, and I can say just hi, and I can pick one of those like predefined topics which I have. So maybe I would like to see some details about benefits. Maybe I want to check status of my ticket, or one of the most popular topic among my customers is resetting password. In most service catalogs is like top 3 by 95%. So you can go and just create this conversation. The good part is that you create those conversation topics once in your ServiceNow instance, and they are available in Teams, in your service portal, in your ServiceNow mobile application. So wherever your users are using the service desk, like the Now virtual agent, they will see those topics. So in my case, I would like maybe to go and report an issue, right? So I can go submit. Now, if you are on ITSM Pro, there are some additional things like, for example, using NLU, so natural language understanding. So you can train your bot to understand more and better, and you can train the model to learn over the time. So I can say like I don't know, my Outlook doesn't refresh email. So what will happen now? This is like out of the box behavior, and you can create your own custom topics. So what is happening? First of all, ServiceNow tries to, like the bot goes to internal knowledge bases and tries to look for knowledge articles which can support the user. And very important part here, I mentioned at the beginning that it's not only self-service, but it's a secure self-service. Why secure? Because I will only see those articles to which I have access directly in ServiceNow. So I won't see something which I shouldn't. So this is also quite important if you think about maybe on HRSD related topics, like HR topics, right? So of course I can click on the article, I can review it, and I can see if it is helpful for me or not. In this case, I can see that this topic is not what I'm looking for. So I can click no. Okay, by default, it's setting it as a high urgency. I want to proceed with the value. I don't want to add an attachment, but I could just upload the file and it would also be added into ServiceNow, into incident as an attachment. So I will not add attachment here. And I just want to submit the request. So now what will happen is the ticket will be created inside of ServiceNow, and I have just a link which will take me to my incident in ServiceNow. Important part of it is that all of those, this is like a personal app. So I see only my conversations in Teams. So I see all of my previous chats, right? So I can just click and I will be redirected there. And just to prove it, I can go to incidents. I will click all. And as I can see, I have this incident added to our table. Now, I could go to this incident sorry, not interactions, incidents. I could go to this incident and what is possible. So I'll just assign it to me. And I see the details and take a look. So here, this user opened it from this channel virtual agent. Also, I will see some more details in conversational analytics. So you can do a deep dive into what was happening, how the conversations were operated. So now I can go to collaborate, and if I would like to start working with the user, I can just start a Teams chat. And what will happen, it will open a regular Teams chat experience for both sides. So both service desk agent and end user will have just a regular Teams conversation. The main difference of that approach is that it will also mark or will store the ID of this conversation in ServiceNow, and it allows ServiceNow to import back messages, those like monitored, flagged from flagged conversations into ServiceNow. So here again, I'm logged in here as the same user, and here I'm logged in as the same user. I'll just quickly jump here to chat experience. I get the message about like this chat maybe saved. So yes, hello, and that's it, right? I get, sorry, this one. I get the regular chat experience between users. Now, as I mentioned, there is because this is like a built-in feature of ServiceNow, you will see it first here in activity feed. So you can always quickly get access to those conversations straight from activity feed and also from this collaborate piece. But we might have a situation that maybe I didn't connect with end user. Maybe I just wanted to reach out to my colleague who is specialist in specific area, and that person will provide me some tips or maybe some articles, and I don't want to like share it with user directly with the person credentials. So what I can do to attach those messages into the record, I can just click on the collaborate, click import Teams chat, and here I will see list of all of my Teams chats. First of all, by default, I will see chats related to this specific record, or I can see a list of all conversations, again, all of my conversations, and I can pick, maybe this one will have some messages where I can just, select what I would like to import. One click, and those messages land straight in ServiceNow in activity feed, where additional benefit of this integration is that you not only have a timestamp of when the import took place, but most importantly is when the messages have been sent, right? So you can check it like that. So you can easily start those chats. You can import those chats back to ServiceNow. But let's go back for a second to the scenario which was being asked about like multilingual support. So here again, I'll go back to my help me app, and I called it help me. You can customize it. You can make it your own. You can apply your company branding. So the naming can be customized, icons, everything can be customized here to support your needs of like branding and look and feel experience. So what I will do now is I will reach out to Live Agent, but to do that, I will invite to a call my additional user, Beth Anglin. And Beth is our service desk agent working, anywhere where she wants, but she's speaking only Spanish. So what we can do in this case. So first of all, I will start the conversation and I will reach for Live Agent. So here I can say yes. I would like to work with Live Agent. And again, as I said, live demos. So I will accept the conversation. And what is happening now, you can see, first of all, like welcome message, which is being sent by Beth, is being sent in Spanish, but in Teams, it's visible in English, right? So, okay, I'll go and say like my computer reboots constantly. Right, and the message is being translated in the backend and being sent into ServiceNow, and you will have both messages in original language and translated language stored in ServiceNow, right? So even if you are trying to look if the conversations have been translated properly, it's automated translation. I'm using here like Azure Cognitive Services, but you can also use other models for that. But basically the integration works like that. So I can type in messages in my language, the language will be translated to the language of a service desk agent. Of course, you need to have the language enabled in your ServiceNow, and it needs to be supported by the model, by the translation model on the model which you are using. So we have that. Do you have any questions for that part?
No, but we've got Miguel another couple of questions if you want to take a quick.
Yeah, sure.
Is there any kind of dashboard to see performance trend or statistics about this integration?
Yes, so for virtual agent, there is something which is called conversational analytics. And there is a virtual agent dashboard, which allows you to review how your virtual agent is performing. And because Teams is I would say one of the available channels in the whole integration, you can also review of what's going on. So maybe let me check last on this year. Okay. And you can go to conversations, then you can pick which channels you are interested in. You can see the details, transcript. So
Excellent.
like ServiceNow provides quite thorough like analytics for that as well. And you can also see like deflections as well. So yeah.
Right. Can you discuss anything about the dynamic translation services within ServiceNow that
Yeah,
have
so
come?
the one which you show which you've seen here in the conversation between Beth
Yes.
and the Beth and the user. So this is a dynamic translation.
Okay. Excellent.
So all the translation being done on the fly is being done via the dynamic translation. It is available. So here I'm using service operations workspace. It also works for agent workspace as well. But for live agent, you need to use the workspaces.
Okay. Another great question came, can the bot integrate with the Azure Logic apps? So that, for instance, the user selects that they have email issues, right? And perhaps we have a diagnostic PowerShell script set up to check for related issues. That help me with the bot to trigger a Logic app to run a diagnostic. Is that possible? Seems
Huh.
interesting. Interesting
So,
scenario.
so I would say, so first of all, I think you can, like, your service desk can also run those PowerShell scripts from their like mid machines, right? So you can use that for like the bot by itself. You would need to check if there is a spoke. However, you can start a logic app via REST call. So you could, like, theoretically can be done. However, to check the details and what are the all the requirements, you would need to check the documentation itself, because the bot itself because the bot is living in ServiceNow, right? So the team's experience is just like an interface to ServiceNow bot. And what is possible here, you can go and trigger some options through the integration hub.
Okay, excellent. And one last question, is there a live dashboard? I'm not quite sure how that might refer, but maybe you could decipher. Maybe we can get some more information.
So maybe you can put it a little bit later. Like maybe that I'm not familiar if there is a live dashboard for conversations, but then I would recommend reaching out with ServiceNow.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So those are like the behaviors, from looking from the perspective of service desk agent, from the end user. From the end user, I wanted also to show you the experience of working with the employee center. So as I mentioned before, you can embed your employee center or service portals inside of your Teams application. So here again, I'm in my Help Me app, where I have again my chat, my access to files which have been shared with the bot, and also access to Employee Center, which is an iframe, but it supports SSO, and it allows users to go and perform again all of those operations in the context of their user. So here I will have only access to those things to which I have access. So in this scenario, I would like to go and order a new device. So here maybe I would like to order a new developer laptop. I'm here in my Teams, in my browser. It also works from mobile experience as well. I can click request, click order now, checkout. And what happens, I get an approval request where I have now I can just go and respond to it straight from Teams, right? So I can just click approve, and this message will refresh the request. So if I'll just go and refresh it here, and I will go to my requests, and now we are in a new step, and another person is being engaged, right? So those are the things which you can do straight from here as well. So Employee Center gives you the option again to embed your Employee Center portal in ServiceNow, or if you invested a lot, you are still on your service portals, you can do it as well. And again, you have one place which you manage, you have one place which you customize, and then you embed it straight in Teams. And your users can use it. It's not that you are forcing them, but you can do it. So for that, this will be the Employee Center. And one of next things I wanted to show you is working with major incidents. So if you are using major incidents, you might be familiar with the major incident workbench. And Workbench is kind of a solution to streamline of management of major incidents. So here I have major incident. As you can see, it's very critical because it runs almost 2 years now. I just like it very much, and I don't want to recreate it multiple times. So in collaborate section, you can create new communication plans. And what will happen is that here I can say maybe, I don't know, storage team call. And I can just start it as a group chat, or I can use the conference call. And I'll just click next, add, and when the time comes, I can just initiate the call. I click start. Okay. And in a second or so, sorry, I haven't added additional user, so I'll create a new one. Okay, so again, next, add. Initiate. And start. And, sorry. Again, clicking too much. This one, conference, all. Now it should be fine. Initiate. Let's do it like that. Start. Okay. So now, just mute here. I will join here. Right, so now I have this experience where we are on this group call, and just to show additional thing. So yeah, that's me on my phone right now. So whenever you have engineer working in a field, you have person sitting in the office and someone doing something in the data center, they can all be engaged in your ServiceNow call to work on the major incident. So that's it from the major incidents. So of course you can then engage people like from specific roles, specific groups. So those are like features which ServiceNow provides out of the box with those I would say integrations available in between ServiceNow and Microsoft Teams. However, we have also an extension to it, which our support team built, or our team responsible for building like support experience in Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Currently, it's available only in the incident in this like I would say traditional list view. So I'll go to incident. Let it be to assign to me. So I can go to my incident. And there is a new section related to this incident called Microsoft 365 support. And this is a section which provides you an experience to use not only your built-in knowledge base articles, but also articles from our like official support pages. So here, for example, I have this like my Outlook doesn't refresh email, so it takes by default it takes the short description, and I can just click and it will reach out to our knowledge bases and will provide some recommended articles, right? So if you have like Microsoft 365 dedicated incident, then it also provides you the option to have those articles provided to your service desk agents. Again, this is one of like the new additions, and it's still getting new features and it's being constantly updated. What you can also do from that integration is you can create a dedicated, or you can create a support incident in Microsoft 365 Admin Center as well. So you can go and fill out the form and it will create an incident and it will link this incident to the incident in Admin Center.
Great questions. Yeah, it's a great demo, Michael. We have a sec for a question?
Yeah. So from my side, from like I would say from my demo side, that's everything. If there are any more questions, we can jump back to them, and yeah, let's see.
Yeah, do you want to take a look at the chat? Because there's a few, like the last one I see Martin just posted. Can knowledge base articles be posted from another site such as Confluence or SharePoint?
So as far as I know, yes. So there are like two things. So first you might use like spokes to get the data out of different sites. Now I don't have that configuration enabled yet in my instance, but you can also index I would say knowledge base articles or index like SharePoint sites in ServiceNow. I've seen it one of those like latest additions. You can also use Graph Connector to bring ServiceNow knowledge base articles into your Microsoft 365. So whenever you will go to search in Microsoft 365, you can type in, what you're looking for, and you can have additional vertical for ServiceNow knowledge bases.
You can point them to support.microsoft.com and consume some of our own knowledge base articles.
Let me scroll where we stopped previously. So the live dashboard. So that one regarding the live dashboard, as I said, I think the best would be reach out to someone from ServiceNow to give you the information about like what can be done with the current state of analytics. Can a remote assistance be integrated in ServiceNow? So one of the ways you could use those Teams conversations, so you can have like a Teams chat with, providing control, if that's the case. If you are looking for any other, like any deeper integration with different products, then I would also recommend reaching out to ServiceNow.
Okay.
Okay, one from Jorge. Along the same question, can it determine patterns on its own and report on them, like automatically generating a ticket based on the calls related to that pattern? So in ServiceNow, there is something which is called predictive analysis, which you could, I think, use to do that, but how exactly it could be done, again, I would recommend reaching out to ServiceNow.
Okay.
So again, the remote, so that one we answered. Can you register your existing bot from Teams to ServiceNow, or is it the way? Yeah. So for how the registering process looks like. So first of all, like you need to first enable ServiceNow bot in ServiceNow, and then there are like three ways you can or two ways which you can do it. So one is by installing like the integration, which is done through either enterprise application in Azure AD, or there is like manual registration process for a Teams bot. So there is like like on the ServiceNow side, there is like a full documentation on the whole process. So either you will need to like do the enterprise application deployment in Azure AD, and it's like 3 clicks, and like 4 minutes later, it's done. If you will go with manual bot creation in Teams, then it's just a little bit longer. It's not very much more complex. You just need to add a few more steps to enable that integration. And yeah.
Excellent.
Next one, on the topic of MIM, when creating the Teams meeting from ServiceNow measures, can you have it to drop the specific Teams channel? Yeah, so what I've shown here with major incident management, this is the out-of-the-box experience in the integration, but you can definitely create completely different flow. So for example, in the scenario where you requested to create a meeting and then set like a message to the channel in specific team, it can be done as well. Okay. When a ticket is closed, can it be reopened? And is there a time limit that can so those are like I know that they can be so like there are two states, resolved and closed. I'm not sure if they can be reopened after being closed. But again, this is like a question directly regarding ServiceNow, so I would recommend to reach to the folks there. What premium licensing or connectors are required for most of this functionality? So to most functionality, I would say it requires ITSM standard. For virtual agent, with where you would like to create your own custom topics, it requires ITSM Pro. And let me look. I will paste in the article, and I will also add it to the slides, where is like the official like table from ServiceNow showing, which features are available in which license. But besides like the custom conversation and live agent, which will require ITSM Pro, the rest was available in ITSM standard. And here is the link on the integration. So here we are not using any connectors per se, because we are just using the integration from ServiceNow. Will this recording? So it will require some. So the question is the follow up on this like custom behavior of the major incident management. It will require some additional steps like building a flow in Integration Hub to do that. So it's not like a development where you need to write C# code, but you will need to build a low-code solution in ServiceNow. Dynamic translations are available. And the last question is there any additional cost to integrate and enable dynamic translation services? So I think dynamic translation services are available in ITSM Pro. So you'd need to check it and confirm it with ServiceNow. So this is the cost of dynamic one of the costs, because second one is the translation itself, because it's using the external model for doing the translations. You will need to also like pay for that. For example, here I'm using like Azure, and I think in Azure it's like first 2 million characters are available for free. But then you need to pay additional. You will have additional cost just for doing the translation. And also in Tokyo, I think I haven't show it, but there is also one more thing, and I don't know, Jonathan, if we have like 2 more minutes.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So I just want to check one thing. So let me share back my screen for a second. And of course, if you have any more questions, please
post them in the chat.
Yeah, please post them. We can also, so if, for example, you are interested in testing out those integrations, we can help you with it as well. So you can reach out to your customer success manager or customer success account manager, and we can also assist you with deploying those integrations. But with Tokyo release, there is also dynamic translations of the bot conversation. So I took this Spanish message, which I used in the conversation, and hopefully okay, so maybe I will need to use a different topic, but as you can see, it looked for the message in Spanish. However, if I would like to go and so let me go and let's use translation. I will use like report problem. Okay, I'll go back. Yes. And I'll just say that I want to report a problem. And so unfortunately, I need to see why. So on this demo instance, it didn't work. So there is also like dynamic translation for virtual agent conversations, where you need the bot can switch language for the user. So whenever I would reach out, I don't know why it didn't work. Demo gods were not very happy with me in the end of the presentation, unfortunately. But yeah, that is also something which is available. I will need to take a look into that instance, why it didn't work. Yeah, but from my side, that was it, what I wanted to show. So if there are any more questions, yeah,
please post it in the chat. Additionally, we'll have everything available out on the sites. We'll be sending a follow-up email. You'll have all the links to the presentation and any links that Michael then provides for key documentation. If you haven't signed up for the rest of the week, go ahead and do it now. We've got plenty of room, and use that phone, click on the QR code, fill out that survey. We love hearing from you. So we really appreciate everyone's feedback, your attention today, and hope you enjoyed it. We've got a lot of exciting things coming at you this week. And that's it. That's all I've got. Yeah. And if you haven't had an opportunity, please click on the HLS Community Connections Yammer registration. We'll send that link out to you as well. You can join a really amazing community. We do these 30-minute little microdose Lunchables that we'll hand out to you, and you can jump in once a month and come consume more really amazing information that we're providing for you month in and month out. Okay. That's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We will see you in more sessions throughout the week. Miguel, thanks.
Thank you very much,
Amazing
Jonathan.
job today.
Thanks,
Okay.
folks.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.